So there's a few things that I wanted to add on to my last short that I did about the feeling of being misunderstood. The first thing is that it's really good to surround yourself with people who you feel do understand you, because this will give you the contrast of what it's like to be understood and to feel like your feelings and your sense of self is being accepted by someone, and then the feeling when it isn't, because you need to know the difference so that you can start to know what it feels like to be safe and seen, because this is really important in a relationship. It's your most important connection, and we feel most connected when we feel seen. So we want this in a relationship, and it is one of the reasons why it's so triggering, because if the closest person to you is not seeing you, understanding you, then it threatens the connection. And on some level, you know that, so it sparks off that fear of abandonment, right? So that makes sense. And then the other thing to consider is that when you feel like this, there is a level of nuance in this situation, because in every relationship, there's going to be misunderstandings. You're not going to be on the same page. But the difference is, in a healthy relationship, there is an ability to stay curious, to want to understand, to be interested in the disagreement, and to want to come to a place of harmony, right? That's what a healthy partner will be able to do. But there's also a part of this where, as you expand your tolerance for being misunderstood, you're better able to accept that sometimes your partner will not understand. But it's about the little things rather than the big things like who you are, what you want, your needs. If those things are being misunderstood, you're going to feel deeply threatened and triggered, and you'll start to doubt yourself and question yourself if you have a weak sense of self, okay? So this is where we have to do the work on building your sense of self, validating your feelings. You know, there's a lot of people say you've got to learn to validate your feelings, but you can't actually learn that yourself, because that is a two-person job. That is the work of mirroring, being reflected back to, actually, yes, your feelings do make sense, so that you can internalize what it feels like for your feelings and your sense of self to make sense to somebody, so that you can build that confidence to do that yourself. But first you have to be mirrored it. So if you're with someone who is unhealthy, this gets really, really difficult, and it's really hard and almost impossible to do. So this is why you've got to seek out safe people who will validate your emotions, your experience, and not make you feel crazy. Okay? And this is what I do. If you'd love to work with me, I would love to work with you. You can find out all the information about how you can do that in the link below.